Well, hello and welcome. Welcome to springtime. I am so excited that it's spring, although it has been a bit rainy here in Los Angeles, which is where I live. My name is Lana Goodell. I am in Los Angeles, so I'm often on the beach, but because of the rain, I've been inside quite a bit. I'm a physical therapist, and in my free time, I like to knit. Most of that time is at night while my husband watches action movies, but over the last couple of weeks, we started watching season 1 of Ted Lasso, and it's about soccer, a soccer team. My husband really enjoys soccer, and the characters are so interesting and really fully developed, and as well as being sort of caricatures in and of themselves too. It's just been delightful. So I've been enjoying that as well. And so I've gotten some knitting done. I thought I would have 2 of my almost completed works in progress from last time finished by now, but I got distracted and life comes up and came up, and let me tell you what happened. So right before Valentine's Day, Amy at Knit Collage showed off a sweater that was so pretty and in this really fun yarn, and it's more pricey than I usually spend on yarn, but I loved it so much I had to splurge. So she was showing what is called a Gumdrop sweater designed by Ann Keith. So I did modify the sleeves. The instructions were for bell sleeves or for straight long sleeves, and I'm in Southern California. That just seemed like a lot of material. And so I just made them short sleeves, which I think works out great. So that was the only deviation from the pattern. Otherwise, it was really easy to follow. The color is just so bright and happy. And she had shown it in this yarn that is Knit Collage's Serenity boucle. I'm not sure if that's how you pronounce it, but this textured yarn. And it is, I believe it's 85% wool, 15% nylon. Brushed effect creates irregular look and feels reminiscent of your favorite fleece jacket, is what they say on the website. This yarn is all about embracing a little slice of inner peace and sanctuary. It feels lovely. It's very lightweight, and yes, it does feel like serenity, little escape. So Jake of Kenyan Yarns, the colorway is Ally AF, and that is what I am wearing. So it is so fun. I loved this. This is let me just back up and see if I can show you it. It's this cute little sweater. I changed the sleeves to 3/4 because for me, bell sleeves just are too much material. And again, I'm in Southern California, it gets hot. This sweater is lightweight and it's perfect for spring. I love the colors. And so it's just this cute little sweater. It was so fun to knit. Let me just tell you what happened. I got this yarn. I love this yarn. This is so fun. You can probably see the texture. It's kind of bubbly, kind of nebby. It does not get stuck on the needles. It just slides right over, which is nice. It feels really good. But this color is so amazing. It's perfect. It's the perfect, really springtime yarn. This is knit up on a size 13 needle. And the first time I knit it in a size 5. And it was too big. It just felt like there was too much material here at the raglan, too much in the back. And I tried to see if I could unknit Tink back and make some decreases and see if I could just finesse it into fitting better. But when I counted the stitches, I realized what I was really doing was I would need to remove enough stitches and it would be the next size down. So I ripped it all out, which was sad at first, but then I just started getting into a rhythm and it ripped out really quick. And then I decided to knit the next size smaller. And that's this. And I think it's really nice. I love this neckline. It's just a very loose, not a tight kind of mock turtleneck. And I love how the lines just go down and it makes the torso just elongated. I think it's really pretty. I've worn it a lot. It's very comfortable. And it's the perfect kind of weight for spring here in Southern California. It's lovely. So the second time knitting it was a little slower. And one of the things that I noticed, I had been using over the last several months really small needles, like size 4 and fingering weight yarn. This is thicker, some more textury, kind of really lovely texture. But the size 13 needles, I could feel more tension in my neck, and I just decided that I would knit it slower and just take time out so that I could make sure that my body was okay. So I'm a physical therapist, and it's super important for me to make sure that myself and we keep our bodies moving well for all the things that we want to enjoy, whether it's sports or crafts and knitting. So the second time knitting the sweater was a little slower, just to make sure that everything was okay with my body. And I found myself doing posture checks, head up and back, jaw relaxed, throat relaxed, checking the shoulders, making sure I wasn't up here like a little chipmunk, and dropping the shoulders, doing some circles with them, doing some head tips to stretch out the muscles, doing a little nose diagonal stretch to stretch out the back neck muscles, and doing enough little mini breaks in between to make sure everything was comfortable, my body was comfortable while I was knitting it the second time. You know, self-care is important even for knitters. I know that most of us knit as self-care, but too much of a good thing sometimes can lead to repetitive strain injury. So it's really important to check. So on Knit Collage's website, they described the colorway as embracing light and color, like the rainbow. And I really think it's like the spring flowers. And the opening video that I showed was part of the beginning part of California's super bloom in the Central Coast with poppies. And it has just been so beautiful here. We've had a lot of rain, and that means that all of the flowers that have been waiting and waiting and waiting for a drink finally got what they wanted, and now they're all showing up and they're just beautiful. So there's the blue lupine, there is purple and white wild radish and mustard and oxala, which are all yellow, and of course we have the orange poppies, and so just fabulous. And I really think that this has all of the colors of spring. So it just makes me happy when I wear it, really enjoying it. It was a really good, easy knit. I'm glad it was easy because I had to do it twice. The next project that got me a little bit distracted and not finishing the other works in progress was I made just a super simple hat for my husband. I'll put a picture up. And this is it. This is the hat. I love the colors. It's a lightweight yarn, and I'll put it on, but it's too big on me, and it's much better on him. It's a little slouchy hat. So this is just an improvised hat. I wasn't sure about the little garter caterpillars, but I just added them in randomly. And I think the colors look really good on him. He's been wearing it quite a bit. It's a little bit lighter weight than some of the other hats I've made for him. And this is Lana Grossa colorissimo yarn. It's 100% merino. It's very soft. The colorway that I'm holding in my hand is colorway 13. I believe it's discontinued. This one is the remaining amount from the hat, and I believe that colorway was 14, and I'm not sure if that's still continued, but there's a lot of other colorways and they're all really beautiful. Really nice feel to the yarn and also to the hat. So I did make progress on one of my works in progress, the Ponga shawl by Stephen West that I am knitting for my sister-in-law Zari, and I finished the first colorway, which was Poppy Parade, and yeah, there we go. Which is super pretty, and again kind of goes with the theme of wildflowers for this season. And I just got to changing the colorway. I don't know if you can see some of those little brighter flecks in there, and that is the indication that I've switched from the Poppy Parade colorway to Watermelon Sugar. And then there's one more color called Raspberry Dream, and this is, I believe it's called Sisley. I never quite know how to pronounce it. It is fingering weight. I'm using a size 4 needle, and it just drapes so well. It's such a beautiful material and fabric that I'm creating. It's very nice. It's a super easy pattern, and it has been my TV knit. Okay, so in keeping with the pink month theme, which is not really my go-to color, but somehow it seems appropriate for the spring, I had been wanting to knit Andre Maury's Pink Fizz sweater. I wanted to use Newton yarn and a mohair. The mohair I wasn't really sure about, because really early on when I was first learning to knit, I had knit kind of a shrug or a sweater in a royal blue mohair, and I loved the color, but the mohair just shed everywhere. It was on my tights, it was on the furniture, and I really didn't like that effect. So I put the sweater in a back drawer and haven't looked at it since. So I'm a little uneasy about the mohair, but I did see Inga on Knitting Traditions use a Newton yarn, a similar colorway, and a Dusty Rose mohair for Isabella Clarke's Field of Gold sweater, and it looked beautiful. So I'm much more confident about choosing that yarn mix for this one. And so this is what I did. I tried out the Newton with a silk. I tried the Newton with a Surrey. And then I tried it with the mohair. Excuse the coffee stains. I seem to get coffee everywhere. But I really like the way this fabric felt, and I like the way it looks minus the coffee stains. So I think that's what we're going with. This is the two held together, and Owen's mohair, Kid Silk. I don't know what the colorway is, but it just looks like a dusty rose. And then this is the Newton, and I don't know if you can see it. I don't know if it comes out on film very well, but it is a light pink with flecks of really beautiful, bright little kind of cool reds through there. This is unspun, so I think holding them together will look really nice with the sweater, because the sweater has some eyelets and cabling, and I'll see how it goes. Looking forward to doing that. I did wind up taking the time to do swatching, which is something that I never used to do, but I found that it is really super helpful, especially if I'm going to take the time and the effort to use beautiful yarns and take the time to knit a complicated, or what looks like a complicated sweater. So I should mention that the new knitting yarn is the colorway Yara. It was part of September's collection last year. And so I'm looking forward to knitting that up, hoping that I pick the right size. So I'll be starting that and continuing the Ponga shawl, and hopefully finishing up the other works in progress that I had from last time. And I hope that you are knitting things that make you happy also. Have a great spring. Oh, and if you like this, please just like and subscribe below.